Hey, it's Tina Lorraine, Certified Abundant Mindset Coach and your Ghostwriter Guru. And happy Friday. I hope you're having a fantastic, fabulous, fierce Friday. And you know how you can have that type of Friday every day? I just wanted to join and just talk about staying in the now. Staying in the now. Nothing deep, nothing heavy today. We're just going to stay in the now. And how do we do that? Or the reason why we need to do that is because it keeps us grounded. It keeps us grateful and thankful. And so I think it's very important to stay in the now, because if you don't, you tend to go in your past and relive it, and that doesn't work, because then we remain stagnant and stuck, and then we become ungrateful, thinking that we don't have all that we do have. It makes us ungrateful. It makes us long for the change to happen. It makes us look around us and see what we haven't done right. And I used to do this. I used to always beat up on myself, thinking about the way I used to operate in the past, and it kept me stuck. So we don't want to do that. And another reason why we want to remain in our now, or in your now, or in my now, is because it keeps us present. It keeps us focused. It keeps us focused on happiness. It keeps us focused on love. It keeps us focused on joy. And if we want to be happy, it also keeps us grateful. Because if we get into the future and the things that we want and that we don't see, then we start to get worried. We start to get fearful. We start operating in the energy of make it happen. And that's not necessarily going to induce stress in most of us. And so staying in our now keeps us grounded and keeps us grateful. If I don't stay in my now every day, then I'll be living in my past, thinking about all the stuff that I did wrong. And if I get too far into my future, yes, I do have a plan for it. I have a vision for it. I try to align to it every day. I try to align from a place of love. Do I want my future to come to pass? Yes, I do. Does my right now look like the way I want my future to look? No, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful, that I'm not joyful and happy today, because today is a new day, and we get renewed. We get our energy in maintaining that alignment that comes from love. That's why we have to ground ourselves. That's why we have to believe who God says we are. We have to believe in spiritual principles. We have to align to love, and that's what aligning to love is. It's being grateful for where you are now. It might not look the way you want it to look now, but you can be grateful for where you are now. You can be grateful that you're breathing, because if you're breathing, you're always working towards your future. You're always working towards those things that you feel will make you happy in the future, that will make you lead a more bountiful, abundant life. But we want to stay grounded. Stay grounded, stay in the now, stay out the past. Don't worry about the future. Plan for a future, but don't worry about it. And be grateful for where you are now. And I believe this is one of the reasons that God tells us to be grateful for small, or don't despise small beginnings. Not be grateful so much, but you can, if you don't despise your small beginnings, then you can be grateful for where you are at now, because you're not worried about if the plan will work out, and you're not stuck in the way you used to think in the past. And this is why it's so important to be happy now. If you want to know the secret to being happy, stay in the now. Stay in your now. Be grateful for where you are right now. Yes, plan your future. Yes, be in excitement, be in anticipation for what God is doing, what you're co-creating with God. But at the same time, don't get so far into the future that you start looking around going, well, I haven't done this. I got this to do. This is laundry list. I'm starting to stress myself out. I'm going to be anxious, because we're not even supposed to be anxious for anything, right? We're not supposed to be anxious for anything. So I believe that God tells us that for a reason. If we're anxious about things, then we can't appreciate how far we've come. Like I told you, I've been dealing with all these autoimmune issues that have kept me at times just sitting on the couch and not able to physically move. And I'm the type of person that likes to dance, that likes to exercise. I know I'm one of the rare probably that likes to exercise, but in this process of healing from these autoimmune diseases, I've had to give up going to my trainer and doing the classes and everything because it just made me it struck my ability, because I was having vertigo and dizziness and dizzy spells that lasted 3 and 4 hours, and I was having to figure out, was it something in my diet? Found out I went on this journey, gluten sensitivities and all these other things. And I'm still on this journey for them to figure out what is going on. Between me researching and going back and forth to the doctor, it's been a journey. But in this journey, I have learned how to be grateful, because the old me would have said, God, why are you always taking stuff from me? Why are you always allowing bad things to happen? And that's the way I used to think, because I thought from a victimized mentality, because I had been victimized over and over again in my past. And so I became victimized in my mindset because that's what I learned. So I always thought that God was against me, that didn't quite love me, that wasn't important. I shared this with you guys before. And in my journey of healing, I don't think that way anymore. I had to start off from just doing exercises by sitting down. I had to start off, doing it the slow way, which don't we hate the slow way? I hate the slow way. Sometimes I would just hate when people say, just trust the process. I'm like, look, I need to get from A to B, and I need the quickest way possible. And this is the way I thought. I was like, I got to get there. And then I just realized that, look, I could either surrender to the process, or else I could keep kicking against the pricks. I could keep fighting against the way that God programmed everything in my life to happen. I can either fight against it, or I can get in alignment with it, because God is truly not holding anything good from me. God loves me. I understand that now. I did not used to understand that, but part of the reason why I understand that is because I stay in the now. I stopped obsessing about the future, and I continuously build a mindset and belief system that does not stagnate me, meaning I don't stay in the past anymore. And so I can be happy that every day, even the days that I can only start out with exercising from the chair, but now I'm not on the couch anymore. I'm able to do I'm not able to do what I used to do yet, but I'm able to move around now. I have to do it very slowly, because up and down for me is very precarious with the whole vertical dizziness stuff and the weakening of my limbs for some reason. But I'm able to do more this week than I was doing last week, just from taking small steps. And then I also told myself, because I watch my grandson, we go out for a walk every day, and that's at least 30 to 45 minutes to sometimes an hour. So I was doing that even when I felt so unbalanced. It was so hard for me to walk, but nobody could see that from the outside. But the inside, I was struggling, y'all. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall down. Oh my gosh, does anybody see me looking like? There was a cartoon character, and I can't remember his name, but it was in the Fat Albert. For those of you who are probably over 40. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. I can't remember what the cartoon was named. I think it was Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. But there was this one character that walked where he was going back and forth and his head was going. That's the way I felt on the inside when I was walking. But from the outside, you couldn't tell that I was struggling with my balance and my coordination and whatnot, because I just made it. I had that fight in me to just, look, you're not going to look like we crazy walking with this baby with the stroller. So and I just have to, laugh about some of it. It's like, how can you laugh at yourself like that? That's traumatic. And, the amount of healing in my health journey that I've had to deal with these last 4 years yeah, it could have been traumatic if I had that kind of mindset, but and there were days where I was low. Don't get me wrong, there were days where I was low. But because I was grounded in love and aligned to love, I could laugh about certain things when I had bad days. It was just like, okay, God, this is where I'm at now. It'll be better tomorrow. It'll be better probably before the day is over. And once I changed my mind for it to be better, things were better. It does not mean that I was overnight healed and, all that. It didn't. But it is a journey, it's a process, and I'm determined to be healed. I'm doing everything I know do to be healed, including control what I can control, which is my, diet, the research that I do about mindset and determination and just aligning from love. And I also go to the doctor and I see what they, tell me, which basically has not been anything yet. But I still go. So, and I maintain a healthy, positive spirit when going back and forth between the doctor, between what I'm doing, between all of it. And you say, well, how can you remain healthy? Is because I stay in the now. I know that one day I am not going to struggle with vertical. I am not going to struggle with the things that I struggle with, balance issues and all that. I know that. I know that up here and in here. So I can be happy every day. I could choose to align from love, knowing that even if I have bad days, even if I feel like I'm going backwards instead of forwards, I can still be at peace. I can still be happy because I am so grateful and thankful that I'm still breathing. I am so grateful and thankful that I have a mind to win, a mindset to win. And so I just want to encourage anybody that's going through anything, any struggle, anything that they feel like they cannot get out of, that they'll never get out of, that they've been fighting a battle for a long time and it doesn't seem to be getting better. Change your mindset. Stay in the now. Start doing a lot of mindset work so your belief system can change and so your mind can change and so you can align to love, because God is not holding any good thing from you, just like God wasn't and is not holding anything good thing from me. And although you might not be where you want to be in your journey, you still have a journey, and you can be grateful for that. You still have a journey, you still have a process, and we have to understand that everything does not happen overnight, and everything is not in the blink of an eye, and everything is not Harry Potter and the wizardry of, you have I don't even watch Harry Potter, but you know what I mean. You have a fairy stick and magic dust, and it's all going to be okay right now. So if we know that it's not going to all be okay right now, and that we have aligned and we have accepted and we have surrendered to the fact that things are a process, things take time. If you surrender to that, and you start being grateful every day, if you at least be grateful for 3 things. I'm at least grateful every day. I'm determined to be grateful for 3 things when I'm in my quiet time. And it always goes over 3 things, but at least it is 3 things. So when you learn how to be grateful, you have a grateful heart and you have a loving heart, and you know that God is not holding any good thing from you, and you know that your future is promised. The journey to your future doesn't really matter. Your plan is great, but work the plan as much as you can. Take the small steps as much as you can. And God will put the natural on the super and it'll work out. But you have to be okay with surrendering to the plan, surrendering to the journey, loving yourself no matter what, not despising your small beginnings, not comparing yourself to anybody else. These are all the ingredients that make us happy. That's how we stay happy. That's how we stay loving. That's how we stay joyful. And so this is what I wanted to just come on and encourage you today, to have a fantastic, fabulous Friday and stay happy. Stay in the now. Choose the now. Choose to be present. Choose to accept yourself where you are right now. Nobody is badgering you over the head saying you have to be better. You have to be this. You have to be that. All that energy that makes us frantic and anxious. Nobody's doing that to themselves except you. It's all in your imagination. Don't be your worst enemy. Be your best cheerleader, okay? I will see you guys soon. Have a great and wonderful day.